morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Linda, and this is For the Record, Your Honor. We have to talk about the drama and gossip around the sport that's being spread and in whispers. Last year, we saw Hayden Deegan in interviews talking about how there are riders that ride and race right alongside of him in the pro level who don't make much money and spend every bit they have putting it back into competing, whether it be traveling, repairs, paying people on their crew. And this even went into talks about how some can't even pay rent. It trickled out when the news broke that the Deegans flew out Yamaha star teammate Cole Davies to get to the hospital after a bad crash. Mind you, it was kept quiet until someone leaked the news out. It was done privately and out of love and understanding that Cole at the time was often without his family in the States. Brian, Hayden's father, lived the privateer life for a long time and been through it all the hard way. So he gets it, respects it, and values true grit. At one point, eventually, Hunter Lawrence had said on the broadcast similar thoughts where they made money, but there is no insurance or benefits provided to them, and how the business pretty much makes thousands, millions off of them, the talent. And we all know the Lawrence brothers have the Lucas Myrtle recipe for money success with the whole Lawrence experience extravaganza. So Hunter to speak out, I think many were excited to see possibly some change, as it should have woke up the suits, and either it just didn't or they don't care. But it went nowhere. Nothing changed. And then we had the Jason Anderson news, where people were wondering how something happening months before it blew up flew under the radar, and that has raised eyebrows, causing some to speculate that it was purposefully covered up or protected, leaving him still riding and racing, and with a whole new team and new sponsors, even product deals too. The questions now go back to when it was rumored he had a personal family issue, and it was said to be something with his daughter, so no one questioned it. Then rumors and issues he was having with Kawasaki. Was it really just all about the arrest originally? I bring this back up as it's more concerns among the sports industry and how sneaky the suits have become. If they knew and went along with covering it up or purposefully burying it, this would mean they do not care about the talent or the athletes as a person and only see them as for profit. Being an athlete, a star on television, and a public figure is never an easy task. Learning the balance of on and off the bike doesn't come easy either. And that's something they should provide and have for these guys, true guidance, and we know that hasn't been the case. For example, management, many work with Wasserman, and look how that's turned out. Enough said. In my opinion, they have a lot of snakes and bad seeds that need to be weeded out. There is no trust in their system and bigwigs in the sport. It has gotten to the point that some of the sport's top riders are now speaking out in a bunch of different ways with multiple and diverse concerns. Overall, everyone wants to see some change. Chase Sexton recently spoke out in a Vital MX interview, and it won me over. Personally, I was not a fan till that interview. I saw him as a regular person and not as a top rider, and it seems so real and genuine. And to see him struggling with loving his lifelong passion, racing, is sad. The industry has been crushing and seemingly ruining the dream, but he's stuck in it. And I'm sure many others feel the same. Now, fast forward to the Triple Crown event in Indianapolis past weekend. Post-race, we heard from a few riders who had complaints. These complaints were about the on-track lappers, repeat offenders, and safety concerns. And with the Joe Shimoda Pierce Brown red light saga, I think many are just tired of being quiet. Lots of things that are bothering them and also blocking them from their victories. One issue was that shorter tracks equals more compressed lapper traffic, which leads to more chances of crashes, collisions, and problems. Yes, the pros are experienced and of course expect challenges, but lapper, obstacles, and dangers shouldn't cause such high concern to the point it is now distracting and injuring riders. At this level of the sport and with the money it has made, it shouldn't be a problem as much as it is. And there most definitely should be higher standards in its overall safety. Names dropped in this type of discussion and topic have been the obvious, Vince Friese, and just recently Cole Thompson. And then eventually we got wind of Hunter Lawrence being upset with the Spanish heartthrob, Jorge Prado. It got to the point that it prompted Jorge to respond in a comment on Instagram. There actually has been some comments, track, actions, and dislike among these two for a while. They clearly don't like each other. Hunter made some comments about Jorge and his racing, and Prado's response, well, unexpectedly, Jorge replied, "Haha, wait till I start doing it on purpose. We'll use some body Spanish, lol." Does Hunter have a point? Why is he bothered? Do you believe Jorge? Tell me in the comments down below what you think. Even Bubba James Stewart spoke on this too. Outside of all this, we have trouble steaming out of the Kawasaki's camp. Chase started out on a clean slate with the green team, and for just a little bit, it seemed like it was going to work out just fine. Well, that thought didn't last very long. Ever since Chase got that win, things went downhill real quick. The team has brought Villopoto in to help along with Jason Anderson's test rider, Kyle Chisholm. I'm glad someone picked up the Chiz for a job. I love that guy, Dirt Nasty. It sucks that he was, ultimately left without a job when Jason Anderson said he wasn't going to be racing. Now, is Chase asking for too much when it comes to their whole drama? Does he have a point with the suspension complaints? I mean, I'm not going to lie, his last couple of races, you can see there was an issue as it caused errors and problems in his performance. What do you think? Is Cowie in the wrong? Or is the truth really coming out? Jorge was complaining. And we also have to talk about Cole Davies. He's obviously preparing for the Showdown. He will finally battle his Yamaha Star Racing teammate, Hayden Deegan. Last time we saw Cole on the podium, he seemed pissed, and like he said himself on the mic, he's been frustrated on and off the track, and he's not lying. It definitely shows. But why is he so mad? With the change of the number from 100 to 1 off from Deegan, Davies is flying around the track with the number 37. Does he think he should have been already racking up wins? I mean, you can't feel entitled. You are always going to have challenges. That's the game of the sport. And bro, you obviously have to earn it. You could be the fastest and the best out there, but that doesn't really mean shit. The challenges, obstacles, techniques, and drama is all part of the gig. You must prove you can overcome anything thrown your way and still master the art of the track. Kid is extremely talented, but he can't just expect to win every single one right off the rip. That mindset can let you down, so don't always bet on it as if it's already in the bag. Ever since Cole's arrival, spectators of the sport noticed this kid's grit, speed, and skills. I just wish he would hold off on the attitude and take the results he gets with a smile and not rush his career. It will come. Don't hold back on your dreams, but be grateful. It's not just you out there on the track. You have a team behind you whose hard work was put in for you. Those placements and results are for them too. Don't forget that. Even if you're not happy with the outcome, be thankful and respectful to your support. And that's all I'm really trying to say and get at. Just wasn't a good look. The win didn't matter anymore. Everyone's attention and wonder was what was going on with him. His response to the outcome is what stuck most when reflecting on the evening and the whole race event. So tell me what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you in another live or video real soon. I'm Linda, and that's For the Record, Your Honor.
Let's unpack the weekend presented by OGIO, OGIOPowersports.com. Code ACJB15 for 15% off your order. Once again, I brought my 9800 full of gear last weekend. Beckham and I had our carry-ons, a four-wheel roller. You know how I feel about that. AC's on board now with his OGIO stuff. So If you want to be like us or a lot of riders in the paddock, go to ogopowersports.com, ACJB15 for a discount. I mean, we have to start there. There's a lot of controversy talking about privateers and lapped riders. Let's dig into it. Look, a big issue this past weekend, Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb and Hunter Lawrence were all pretty vocal in the press conference about what needs to be done, some ideas. And I have to agree with a lot of it. Look, I'll just give my quick opinion. I don't think there's a harsh enough penalty for these lappers to even care. I just don't. I think there's a ton of repeat offenders. We talk about Vince all the time. He's a repeat offender. Personally, I had an issue even when we were teammates. He took me down as I was lapping him one weekend. So yeah, and then obviously Kevin Rands was in the mix this weekend, and I trying to race, but they've got to be way more aware of where they are. And I'll just read it. So I got on the AMA side earlier, and here's the penalty so they have this new points penalty system, right? And it's a tiered system. If you accumulate 15 points, it'll result in an automatic 10 championship point penalty. That's the harshest penalty. Now here's the thing, Adam, is privateer guys that are getting 15th to 22nd every weekend, they don't really care that much about points.
They don't.
Look, they don't care. So now, I mean, they don't care. They want to get into SMX and all that, but it's not a harsh enough penalty. Now, if Hunter Lawrence, Eli Tomac got a 10 championship point penalty, that's massive. That's millions of dollars. Now, that's the harshest. A 5-point penalty results in a warning. So nothing.
Slap on the wrist. And then a 10-point penalty results in a last gate pick. So none of these penalties even are a hindrance to a privateer. Like if privateer gets a last gate pick, dude, they're getting 18th gate pick anyways. They're getting 21st gate pick anyways. So what's it matter? So the first thing is we could go on a tangent for 2 hours about this. But the thing that I believe has to happen, and let me know if you agree, the penalty for getting in the way of these guys, I mean, nearly ended Tomac's season. Yeah,
that's not being dramatic. It literally almost ended his season. The penalty has to be so harsh that these guys are thinking 10 times about it during the main event. Now, if that's taking their money away, taking their AMA card away for 2 weekends, or not letting them race for 2 weekends, penalizing them or fining them $5,000 or $10,000, like something so harsh. This tiered system doesn't relate at all to a privateer. It only relates to the factory guys that are actually racing for championships.
I agree with you. I think that's logical. I go back to my experience as a lapper, my last year racing. I wasn't in great form. I was probably 10 to 12 speed wise, and I would find myself about halfway in the race. I would find myself in that 8 to 12 spot. And once I saw the blue flags, of course, not being used to being lapped, the last thing I was going to do, because I've been there, I've been at the front of the race, I've won races, I know what that's like. As soon as I saw the blue flag, everything in my head, I completely stopped focusing on my race. And I would go from 10th to 17th in 2 laps. Because as soon as I would pull off to the side and let these guys go, I would have the Kevin Morans, Kyle Chisholms of the world go right past me, which I think there's an art to it. I think I probably laid up a little bit too much, but I agree with you. Some of those battles back there, they're duking it out. They're doing everything they can, and I understand having to be completely focused on what you're doing, but there has to be more awareness. There just does. Straight up has to be more awareness. And I go back to the first thing I think about is that most of our flaggers, if not all of them, are volunteers. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the blue flag doesn't get waved enough or obvious enough. And that's difficult for those guys. But it really seems to be, and I've got nothing against Morans or Freeze or anybody, but it seems to kind of always be the same 3-4 guys. right? That's pretty fair?
Oh yeah,
to
no,
say?
100%. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And I've been racking my brain on how we could make this better, and I agree it starts with a harsher penalty. I think if you really want to hit them where it hurts, I think you got to deduct some. If you really want to hit them where it hurts, I think you have to deduct some pay.
Yeah,
because that's how they're getting race to race, and that's something that they're really going to think about. But I also thought, we have the green leader light on the bike, and I didn't race when we had that feature in Supercross, so I don't know if those guys can see it right there. But what if we had a light on the bike? What if we had a blue light on the motorcycle that when the leaders got within 10 seconds of you crossing the finish line or in a segment, the blue light started flashing to where you could see it? Because then it allows you to, it brings it into the scope of your awareness faster. I think just relying on flags, especially with volunteers,